All right. So it's lights out and away we go. So it's another Thursday edition of the Purple Sector. And of course, I'm with my good buddies tonight, Yamboy, Miles, and Andy. Unahin naman natin yung pinakamalapit sa bahay namin, which is si Yamboy. Yam, how are you doing there?
Yes, okay lang. And then,
Lakas ng ulan,
well,
no?
good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Purple Sector. We will be reviewing the recently concluded Monaco Grand Prix.
Yeah.
A race, a race that is usually the
Boring?
most boring race in a calendar. Pero last Sunday was really filled with chaos and excitement.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. Alright.
Yes.
Miles,
Miles.
good evening.
Yes, yes, good evening sa inyo lahat. Good evening sa mga viewers natin watching over Facebook and
YouTube.
Okay, we're simultaneously broadcasted live.
Yep.
Buhay, live kami sa Facebook and YouTube.
Yep.
So, good evening once again, and as what Yamboy said, Monaco Grand Prix up for review later.
Yep. Andy, how is New Zealand doing?
Yes. Good evening, good morning. Good morning na dito. Again, it's midnight here. Hello kung saan bang kayo tuning in, watching this show. Hello there and welcome to the Racing Lines, the Purple Sector. And yes, Monaco Grand Prix. I was prepared for a rather long,
Boring race.
uneventful race. It's Monaco. What do you expect?
Yeah, but it was
It
not.
was anything but.
It was not.
It was anything but boring.
Yeah.
So we are going to dive into that tonight.
Yeah.
Join us down below in the conversation or kung
Yep.
saan man kayo watching on your phones, on your computers. Join the conversation. We are more than happy to have you on our show tonight. Kahit sa
Yeah.
comment section lang.
Yeah. I love the color at the back of your house. So at the back of your sala.
it's-
Thank you.
Purple
I do try
sector,
to
huh?
keep it in line with our theme, Purple Sector.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, guys. So first stop is Monaco Grand Prix, and we all know, just like how we started this conversation talking about Monaco Grand Prix, and the word that we always mentioned was boring, but it was not boring. Starting off with the QTT. So after QTT, the first thing talaga sinabi ko, baka ito na talaga yung chance ni Charles Leclerc na manalo sa hometown niya o sa bahay o sa city niya. So, anong masabi niyo? Yam?
Okay, just like what happened last year, siya na sana yung pole position eh. Pero yun nga,
Nasira yung kotse.
napakagrabe nung damage ng kotse niya. So, he ended up not racing at all. And then, second dun is si Max Verstappen. So, Max Verstappen, parang napamana sa kanya yung pole position.
Panalo,
so,
yeah, yung
si
pole
Charles
position.
medyo, si Charles medyo talagang gigil na gigil. 2 weeks ago nga, nasa ano na siya, di ba? Nandun na siya sa kanila. Nag-classic F1 race
Yeah,
sila.
binangga
Ganun siya
niya.
excited.
Oo.
Oh, yan. So, Ferrari, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. So, 1-2 sila. And then 3-4 naman itong Bulls. And then, well, dito makikita mo na, na si Russell is really consistent dun sa top 6 niya na mga finishing sa qualifying. Miles?
Yes. Okay, speaking of the qualifying in Monaco, okay, everyone is saying na boring. Oh, totoo naman kasi ako mismo I don't like street circuits, okay? I don't like to
Yeah.
race. I don't like F1 to race on street circuits. Kasi unang-una, kalye yan eh, hindi talaga pang karera. Pero but it's still Monaco eh. It's part of the Triple Crown. So what do you expect? They've been running it. They've been running F1 Grand Prix there ever since way before pa. And dagdag natin a little trivia. This might be the last Monaco race.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Unless they might do renew the contract of Monaco. Kasi hindi na kasi siya safe for racing kasi street nga medyo maliit, walang runoff areas, tapos kung konting mali lang, konting driver error, it would result the car into the barrier. Just like what happened with Carlos Sainz during the qualifying. Okay? He went to the corner, he went to the barrier just before the entrance to the tunnel. And a few seconds after that, he was hit by Carlos Sainz. The qualifying immediately stopped, wala na ring oras. So Charles Leclerc came in on top. And secondly, dahil sa nangyari, all the previous times were carried on. So sayang, Max Verstappen could have made a good time there, pero yun na nga, nabangga si Sergio Perez of Red Bull
Perez,
and also Carlos Sainz
This is the
nakuha
one.
on the wake. Yes,
Yep,
that's the one.
that's the one.
And this
That's
is
the
the
one. So
podium.
ironically,
Yeah, this is also the podium, right?
yeah, ironically, I was gonna say that's
Spoiler
also the
ka man,
podium
Jong.
for this race, ladies and gentlemen.
Everybody knows. Okay.
A bit of a spoiler alert. Yan
Yeah.
ang ating podium. Just a little bit more about qualifying. No, it's very rare for Sergio Perez of all people to make a mistake, especially dyan sa Portier pa talaga yung that area just before the tunnel. If you've been following F1 for quite some time, you'll know that Monaco is one of the most boring maybe, but it's also one of the most iconic racetracks on the F1 calendar.
Yeah.
It's been there for a long time, a very long time. I think mga 50s pa andyan na siya.
Yeah.
Um,
Classic.
it-
Yeah.
Monaco has seen all of the legends race on it. From Fangio, yung pinakauna nating champion noon pa, up
Yeah.
until the present day. So it's kind of sad in one sense na it may be going out of the calendar. But if you look at it from a realistic point of view, because our cars now sa F1 these days, they're so long, yung wheelbase nila is so long, and it's just not practical anymore for
Yeah.
racing. Kaya nga ang hirap na mag-overtake, ang hirap na mag-maneuver kasi the streets are so narrow. But then again, that's F1 for you. It's an ever-evolving sport, and I hope they find a good replacement for it. Yan lang. If it goes away, I hope they find a good, worthy replacement for Monaco.
But it's yet it's yet to be discussed, I think,
Yet to be
for
confirmed
for
anyway,
next
but,
year, to be
you know.
confirmed. But of course, going back to the qualifying, I really thought that last week we're talking about the Spanish Grand Prix where we saw Mercedes was really, doing well on race, but I was really expecting that there is a kind of substantial, result in qualifying for Russell or maybe Hamilton, maybe though Lando Norris right here of McLaren
Yep, that's right.
was on the fifth. 1 to 4th is, it's already given na silang apat talaga yung more or less nagpapapalitan. Now, 5 down to 10, I was really expecting like a Lewis Hamilton would be on 6th or 5th. Ano sa tingin mo, D? D, nawala. No audio? No audio. While waiting for Andy,
Well, technical difficulties for Andy. Okay.
Yep.
Yan ako na lang, Jong.
Go.
Saluhin ko na lang. Okay, you were expecting Mercedes to climb up the ladders.
Yeah.
Okay. Pero ano natin during qualifying. Pero makikita kasi natin this is just the second race after Spanish Grand Prix wherein they made major upgrades to their car. Diba? Kwentuhan nga natin regarding the side pod
Yeah, the side
less
pod. Yeah.
Mercedes cars. Okay, this is the only second time that they run it on a track. Okay, they made countless times on the simulator, but this is only the second time. So, and considering na it's a Monaco circuit na hindi talaga siya very slow track, kaya hindi masyado siguro lumabas hindi talaga nakita yung full potential ng side podless Mercedes.
Yeah, the Mercedes, no?
Hamilton and
din.
ano.
Yeah, those
Pero
upgrades that they
nakita naman
brought,
natin na
yun nga, sayang.
Yeah. So,
Nakita natin yung upgrades ng Mercedes na were supposedly going to fix the problem, pero sa free practice pa lang, Lewis was already complaining about the bouncing.
yeah.
So doesn't look like it's really worked that well. So so looks like even at this point on the racing calendar, no, Mercedes is still trying to figure out this car.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're still learning from it. As per Toto. They're
As per
still
Toto.
learning from...
Sinagot ka ng text,
Nag-text
Yam.
naman
Toto,
Sinagot mo yung text.
Yeah.
Sinagot ka.
Oh, ano ba nangyari to?
Toto kasi, ano ba?
Learning
Oo,
curve pala
oo.
kami, learning process.
Learning pa rin sila hanggang ngayon.
I mean,
so
The seventh race of the season, di ba?
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
learning. Slow learner.
Wow. And I've
Right.
seen the news. I want to flash it sana, but I didn't have time to sabi niya that it's gonna change the whole ball game because they have kind of figured it out. So I don't know. Maybe
yeah, they were
Azerbaijan
really
the next
hyping
race.
up the car. They were really
Yeah.
hyping up these upgrades and everything else. Pero yun nga, medyo
Yeah,
flop
but the problem
this
next
time.
race is another street circuit, so I'm not quite sure if how are they gonna, fare on that one. Okay,
It's a high speed
street,
street circuit pa talaga.
Baku.
And of course, we all know what happened in Baku last year with Lewis.
Yeah, sumobra, lumampas.
The words, Lewis, break magic.
Yeah. All right, so now let's
So
go
hopefully
to
the ghosts of Baku don't haunt him.
yeah. So now let's go to the race. Okay, so we all know that it rained. Actually, I wasn't able to watch it all the way. So, who's gonna do it? Miles or Yamboy?
Miles. Ikaw, Miles.
Miles, go.
Okay.
Start of the race.
Madam Miles.
Well, everyone was excited for the Monaco Grand Prix considering that their homeboy si Dodong Charles was on pole. Okay? Everyone was there. Oh. During the
Formation lap.
pre-race
Formation lap ba yun?
oh, no,
Yeah.
right before formation lap,
Formation
everyone
pa
was
yun.
there on the grid. Everyone was very excited for the Monaco Grand Prix. But dark clouds were looming over the mountains. That's why all the teams were checking on their radars. Okay? Just like ngayong gabi, umulan. Biglang umulan sa Monaco, which prompted the formation lap under a safety car. So, medyo, yung pa lang, parang medyo, kinabahan na yung mga teams eh. Kasi, unang-una, it's a small track. It's a very
Narrow.
masikip, very narrow track, less chance of overtaking. Ngayon, dagdagan mo pa ng ulan. So, it's really tricky for the drivers to run this track, and most especially, yun na nga, ang labanan na lang nito is strategy eh. Okay, considering na it's Monaco and it's raining. And during the start, formation lap pa lang, makikita natin na lahat ng teams kinabahan.
Yeah.
And during the start, after the formation lap, under the safety car, okay, na red flag ang race eh. Kasi sobrang lakas ng ulan and every car was there on the pits and actually it was delayed. The race was delayed roughly from 45 minutes to 1 hour yata.
Yep,
Parang
that's correct.
nakatulog yata
Mga
ako nun
45
eh.
minutes ang
Nakatulog
total
ka.
delay.
Nakatulog ako while waiting
Ako
for it. Pero
nakagrocery pa ako. Well,
Ang haba ng
just to
delay,
add,
as in.
just to add, okay. This photo here, this is the first red flag. They were ready for formation lap pero lumakas na grabe yung ulan. That's why ito yung unang red flag ng karera. So, lahat nagsi-uwian doon sa pit nila and then yun, hinintay na mag-stop yung ulan para at least safe for racing. So this photo right here is the first red flag of the race. All right.
Yeah.
So after this, Jong, makikita mo yung yung unang photo na pinakita mo kanina, yung may safety car sa harapan.
This one.
Okay, yeah. That one is the start of the race. So, behind the safety car sila. So, rolling start. So, formation lap na ito. Sa formation lap pa lang, Latifi is doing Latifi things na. Very excited. You can see here,
Bit too excited.
he gently hit the barrier for this hairpin right here. And then, next slide, just right after, as you can see in front of him is Lance Stroll. Ayan na, si Lance
Was
Stroll
kissing
naman.
the barrier.
Yeah, actually he had a puncture, so kailangan niyang mag-fit sa formation lap pa lang. So see, wala pang karera proper, marami nang nangyari kasi nga, syempre kung ikaw yung driver, Monaco yan, masikip, basa ang kalye, maraming factors. Yeah, madulas. Alam mo 'yon. So, and then the tires. They're using the extreme wet tires dito. So, hindi intermediates, they are using the extreme wet tires for this one. So, yan. Hindi pa nag-uumpisa.
So,
May mga nangyari na.
then,
So
nagkarera na
apparently,
sila.
no, just a little bit more on veteran flag, no? Kasi there's there's a lot of speculations and rumors going around as to ba't ganun kahaba yung red flag natin. These F1 cars, these tires, these extreme wet tires by Pirelli, they are designed for this kind of weather. Kayang-kaya sana, according to a lot of people, kayang-kaya nila na mag-start ng race even while it was still raining. A lot of people have this opinion na they could have gotten at least a few laps in before nag-red flag.
Before nag-red flag, yeah.
But what a lot of people don't know is there was actually a power outage during the rain. There was a power outage dun sa track mismo. So
Okay.
systems were down and everything, so that contributed to the red flag. On top of that, there was a lot of arguing back and forth going on at race control. This is coming from Martin Brundle himself. Martin Brundle has very reliable sources ni Martin Brundle who reported
Textmate kayo ni
there was
Martin Brundle.
no, kainuman ko kanina. Habang nangihintay tayo mag-start ng live natin, nag-shot siya dito sa bahay. Anyway, according to Martin Brundle, there was quote-unquote a heated argument going on at race control as to kailan mag-start ang
Interesting.
race, paano mag-start ang race, kung rolling start ba or standing start ba. So there was a lot of things going on. Yun ang nag-contribute sa 45-minute na delay.
Na delay, yeah.
So it just goes to show na even if you're the number one motorsport in the world, no, human factors pa rin, they still play a very important part in whatever it is you're doing.
Great. Now, race starts.
Okay.
Race starts. So, 77 laps pa rin yung ano eh, yung race nila. However, here we go. So the first of the ano, this is Pierre Gasly and Jong Uy. Yam?
Okay. This is what prompted, okay, dun muna tayo. This is what prompted a lot of teams to change their tires from extreme wet to the intermediates. Because ito nga, Pierre Gasly attack Jong Uy, and then after this, after one lap, inattack na naman niya si Daniel Ricciardo. So next slide, Jong. Next slide natin.
Is
Daniel Ricciardo na.
yeah.
Yan.
Ano?
Daniel Ricciardo na, naunahan na niya. So all the teams, they're saying, okay, intermediates na tayo kasi AlphaTauri is doing really good. The pace is really good. So after this, at around lap 16, between lap 16 and 17, si Perez nag-pit na kagad for inters because of the performance that Gasly have on the intermediate tires. Yes. Yan, nakikita mo yung dalawang
Okay.
inattack niya ng mga coach.
Yeah, Miles, go.
Yan,
Okay.
Miles, go.
Okay, as the race progresses, okay, nawala na yung ulan. Okay, pero there were still wet patches on the track. But the racing line is slowly drying up kasi wala nang rain, doon dinadaanan na ng mga sasakyan. Slowly nagda-dry up na yung racing line. And as you can see, Pierre Gasly of AlphaTauri was the first car to put on intermediates. Okay? So, credits to him kasi ang tires na nalagay sa kanya really did well for him. Yun na nga, nakuha niya si Pareng Joe at si Daniel Ricciardo na Honey Badger. And tulad nga sabi ni Yamboy, that prompted other teams na, okay, Gasly on inters. So, they need to rewrite again their strategies. Kasi there is this car on intermediates na is doing good times, okay? Magaganda yung mga oras na pinapasok ni Pierre Gasly. So, makikita natin, when almost everyone were on intermediates, times were tumbling down talaga really. So, makita natin, the track is really drying up na suited for intermediates. And then came the pits, what do you call this? Fiasco?
Scramble.
I don't know if between hindi mo na yan, Lewis Hamilton, mamaya na yun, Jong. Yung pit scramble mo na.
We'll touch on that
Pit.
in a bit.
Okay. Dim, any more to add?
So yeah, so around this point, yun na yung nagsimula na mag-pit lahat ng racers natin. So there was quite a bit of a scramble in the pit lane, as you can imagine, kasi halos halos nagsabayan na yung ibang teams. On lap 22, this is where basically everything comes.
Dali, ha?
Are we going
Andy.
to lap 22 straight away, or do
Wait
you
lang,
want to add something before we go to 22?
Wait lang.
Yam?
Kasi dito natin makikita yung kung ano yung mga seconds before disaster for Charles Leclerc.
Yes.
This one is yung step by step natin kasi dito yung enjoy nandito yung karera dito.
Sige,
Ito yung
highlight
decision,
of this race kasi.
yung mga decision ng team.
Yeah, this changes
Okay. This one is the first.
yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
ito yung
If you're a Ferrari
nag-change na
fan,
talaga.
look away now. If you're a Ferrari fan,
Warning.
look
Just
away.
like this one.
You're not gonna
Okay,
like
go.
this.
Just like this one.
Yam.
Perez is the first front runner to pit. So, ito na yung pit niya. So, he was running third, right? The two Ferraris were first and second, so he was running third. Siya ang nauna. So, after that, umikot pa ng isang lap si Ferrari bago etong picture na ito, si Charles Leclerc, bago nila pinit 4 intermediate tires. Pero they underestimated the um, yung bilis nung Red Bull on intermediates kasi talagang after this one supposed to be kasi second itong si Charles first itong si Charles dapat ang labas niya behind Carlos lang pero hindi when he exited the pit he was behind the Red Bull na. So, like this one, pakita natin ha. Jong, ilagay mo ko sa big
Yeah,
screen.
sure.
Alright. Yan, kita ninyo. Yan na.
We're trying
Okay.
out a new feature.
So, I'm
Nice.
really very
You know.
excited of this feature on my studio na.
Sige, Yam, go.
So, ito. Okay. This is Charles Leclerc. This is, kita nyo naman, Sergio Perez. Ayan, di ba? So, pag exit ni Charles dito, ayan na si Perez. So, clearly, nauna na si Perez from Charles. So, parang na-delay ng decision yung Ferrari kasi while driving, pwede ka na mag-drive or ilagay muna kita sa intermediate. Sabi ni Leclerc, pwede na ako mag-drive, siguro maya-maya na, pero baka pwede na tayo mag-intermediate. So, they're still discussing. That's why, wala na, nauna na itong si Sergio Perez pag-exit niya sa pit. So,
Okay.
yan yung unang shamble na ginawa ni Ferrari for Charles Leclerc. Medyo delay ang mga decision nila, mga ganon. So, yan ang first, okay? So, yan. Very exciting.
Alright,
diba?
nice.
Nasa lap 18 pa lang tayo.
Yeah.
So, ganun lang nangyari.
Nice ano dyan, Yam. Okay,
Professor.
so... Miles,
Professor
anything to add?
Yamboy
Ha?
in F1 101. Okay. Parang lecture sa online class. May power parang power.
Kaya
Yeah.
galing.
Anyway, something to add to that. Okay.
Yeah.
The front
Okay.
runners, meaning the Red Bulls and the Ferraris, okay. Nahirapan silang mag-decide agad tulad ng sabi ni Yamboy kasi they are more at risk if they're going to put on intermediates or diretso na agad sila sa slicks, on hard slicks. Okay. So, medyo alanganin pa sila. So, parang masasabi natin na F1 strategy is like playing a game of chess, di ba? Parang you anticipate the move of your opponent like 1, 2, 3 moves ahead. Yun na dapat So, nagpakiramdaman sila. Eventually, Red Bull blinked first and pitted Sergio Perez at lap 17 yata, lap 18.
At
And
the
they
end of
kept
lap
That's
16.
right.
the Ferrari.
Yeah.
Okay, And they kept the
Velocity.
Ferraris, and the Ferraris were kept on running on wets. So with the track drying up, siyempre mas mabilis ang intermediates than wets kasi hindi na basa yung track. So, yun na nga, as Yamboy mentioned earlier, medyo mabilis ang time, ang oras ng mga Red Bulls. Kaya yung kanilang strategy ng Ferrari, medyo inayos nila. Hindi ko alam kung nasobrahan ng ayos or kinapos ng ayos that resulted to the pit fumble. Ano bang tawag doon?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nothing short of a fiasco really on the part of Ferrari's pit wall strategy, yung strategy ng Ferrari, no? It was nothing short of a fiasco. Sayang talaga. They threw away a really good chance to earn some good points. But we'll get back to that
Like
later.
this photo right here. I think, Andy, this is what you are mentioning earlier kanina.
Yes, that's
on
exactly
lap
what I was about
22.
to get to. Lap 22.
The
Yung
first
double stack ng Ferrari.
Yes, okay. So Andy, what can you say about this unfortunate
Yeah,
event?
so when we say double stack, that means when we say double stacking, that means yung dalawang kotse ng same team, they will pit at basically the same time, one after the other. It's a very dangerous situation, kumbaga, for the team kasi so many things can go wrong. There could be delays, there could mix up the tires, whatever. We've seen many examples before na nag-double stack ang isang team and it's gone to hell.
Yeah.
So this is why teams practice their pit stop routines. Like it should be like clockwork, really, and that's why Red Bull are doing it so well because praktisado sila. You will see them practicing their pit stop routines even during even yung mga final practice na FP1, FP2, FP3. So this is something very crucial for a Formula One team. Now, Ferrari, unfortunately, through a combination of bad strategy and yung slow stop pa talaga, Sainz, not too bad. As you can see on the display, 2.5 seconds, mga ganun lang. In and out siya. Leclerc, on top of getting pulled in when he wasn't supposed to be pulled in yet, isa rin yan, his stop was delayed dahil andun pa si Carlos sa pit lane mismo. Sa pit box, I should say. And as you would expect with any F1 driver, the radio just came alive in the worst possible way for Ferrari. Leclerc was heard screaming into his radio.
Yeah,
kasi-
but
he knew at that point. He knew that the race was got out of his hands.
Yeah,
Sayang
but
talaga.
yeah, Pero di,
Screaming
time out.
and swearing.
Yeah, he was swearing. But
Grabe. The
First
emotion
is-
behind.
I heard box. Tapos binawi, 'di ba? Binawi nung
Stay out.
stay out. Tapos nandun na siya sa likod. Yun na
Andun
yun.
na siya.
Yeah.
So the call came in very late. Sayang talaga kasi you lose several seconds. Sa Monaco mismo, it's like ilang seconds ba ang pit stop dyan sa Monaco? 20, 30, nakalimutan ko na. But it's a huge amount of time. And Monaco being Monaco, it's next to impossible to overtake. So if you lose position, that's basically it.
Yeah. Miles, can you...
Okay. They
Sige.
said,
Go, Miles.
Ito kasi, medyo nag-alanganin ang Ferrari nito kung if they need to change the tires, if they need to do a double stack or they need to do overcut, okay? Kasi kung ako lang based on my opinion, it would be better if Charles Leclerc stayed out Kasi clean air na yung harap niya so he could gain more. Mapapabilis ang
Exactly.
kanyang mabababa ang kanyang oras to the point na konti lang yung mababawas sa kanya or he could easily retain his position if he only stayed out kasi clean air na walang car sa harap niya Pero yun na nga, bad call. He
That's
was
right.
about to enter. Actually, he actually entered the pit entrance when the call came na stay out.
Stay out.
So,
Yeah, it's kind of too late.
heartbreak. So, from then on, yun na nga, alam na natin ano ang kinatnan. It's a heartbreak.
hindi.
Another heartbreak for the
Miles,
heartbreak kid.
Yam, go.
At this point, Miles, Carlos was number 1, 2 Checo, 3 si Charles. Recently yung previous kanina, yung pag-explain ko regarding dun sa pag-exit ng pit ni Charles, 'di ba? Nauna na si Checo doon. So at this point, supposed to be daw kasi yung box na yon is delayed yung dating sa radyo ni Charles na narinig niya yung box doon talaga sa entrance ng pit. So kaya nung nakita na ng team, uy, no, stay out. Pero wala na, nakapasok na siya.
Wala
Sabi
na.
si
Commit na
Martin
siya.
Brundle din ng sabi niyan, probably there was a delay kasi kailangan pa nilang i-stay out si Charles anticipating for the 2 Red Bulls to change to hard din. So magpipit din sila. Pero wala na, nakapasok na si Charles, na-delay siya further dahil habang pinapalitan pa yung gulong ni Carlos, nag-antay siya doon as a sitting duck doon sa likod ni Sainz. Kaya yun ang nangyari regarding this unfortunate event sa Ferrari. Okay. I have a good photo here. Jong, again.
All right, go.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yan.
Show and tell.
My
Show
Yeah,
and tell tayo.
this one is Carlos Sainz. Makikita natin dahil yellow itong antena niya. Pero on the screen here on the right, it's Leclerc. That is the one. His team is saying, stay out, stay out. Pero wala na, nakapasok na siya here. So imagine si si Carlos ito, pero itong radio na dito, very furious Charles, animated radio call from
Grabe. Sobrang
from
animated.
to his team. So this one. Kaya yon, well, ito na yung second na mali ng Ferrari na wala na, nagtuloy-tuloy na yung kamalasan nila. So after that, yeah. So after that, yung dalawang Red Bull, masyado na silang malayo, di ba? Kasi nga nag-pit ito, tapos may delay pa. So paglabas nitong dalawang Ferraris, na-delay pa sila further dahil yung mga backmarkers like Carlos Sainz was delayed because of Latifi, and si ano naman, paglabas ni Charles, na-delay din siya because of Albon. So yun yung mga nagdagdag sa oras
So
nila.
Yam, you mean
after-
Yam? Yeah. So you just to clarify, na-delay. When you said na-delay, you mean na-delay sila in catching up to the Red Bulls, di ba?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
kasi
at
you
least
had the
a
back markers
second-
between them and the Red Bulls.
a second and a
Yeah.
half more or less. So imagine the loss of time from Carlos and kay Charles. So after that, nag-pit na yung dalawang Red Bull. Halos magkasabay lang sila. Pag pit ng dalawang Red Bull, double stacking din sila. And then after that, pag exit ngayon ni Perez, eto na, itong photo dito. Pag exit ni Perez, nauna na si Perez from Carlos. So eto na yung naging lugar ni Perez hanggang matapos yung karera. Nasa
Yeah.
unahan na siya. So Perez was running first, Carlos was running second, and then next photo nito, Jong, would be the exit of Max Verstappen ahead of Charles Leclerc. So yung dalawang Red Bull, na-overtake na nila yung dalawang Ferrari. Yun ang kwento.
Yeah,
Ayan.
this is the one.
That's
Ayan.
right. Yun,
This
no?
is the one. Exit
From here on,
exit
no,
by Max. Nasa likuran na si Charles. Kaya yun. Wala na. Tapos na ang karera.
Okay. Well, from
Miles, anything
that,
to add?
okay. From then on, ang alam na natin nangyari, it was basically a procession na. Wala nang change of order,
Yeah,
mga ano. So,
yeah.
for that, alam na natin, it was really a procession. And also, hindi lang procession, meron ding train.
Yeah,
There
train.
was a
Yeah.
train.
Sa
Alonso
likuran.
Train.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
talk
show
about
it.
that
Alonso train.
later.
We'll show it in
So-
a while. Wait, before we move, just would like to show this one. Yeah, Christian
Yun,
Dave Ancheta. Yeah, vamos Checo. Yeah. And Edinel Kinlog Season, pa-shoutout mga idol. So, good evening, Edinel Kinlog Season. And Christian Dave Ancheta, thank you so much for following this this F1 live talk show, and
Thank you,
great
sir.
stuff. Thank you so much. Of course, it's
you.
not a shameless plug. No worries. So get your authentic F1 merch at Formula One store on FB and IG. Yeah, we are going to check that
Alright.
one. So authentic Formula One store. Nice. Thank you, Christian, for
Nice.
letting us know, because we're looking
Sponsor
forward to check your stuff right there. Great, great.
Sponsor naman.
Yeah, oh.
Because man.
Yeah. Okay, so guys,
naman.
thank you for the comments. You may join us. Yes, Edinel, welcome.
Okay.
Edinel season.
So,
Miles?
invite pa natin yung iba. Siguro meron kayong mga wonderful insights on what happened during the Monaco race.
Yeah.
Share nyo naman through comments on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
We'll gladly read it aloud and share it to everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
Now back to the
Yes.
race.
So, after the
Okay,
train,
Jong,
there was
and
a
then
huge...
after nung ano, Jong, meron pa tayong nakitang something interesting during the Monaco Grand Prix. It was the battle between Esteban Ocon and Lewis Hamilton.
And Lewis
Yeah.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one.
Yan.
So, first, yeah,
who-
Andy,
Yeah,
go.
we'll let Miles break this one down. Go ahead, Miles.
Okay, sige. Ganito, there was a battle between Esteban Ocon, who was running 8th, and Lewis Hamilton um, na magkasunod. Hindi maganda yung labanan ng dalawa considering na it's a Monaco, mahirap mag-overtake. Pero ang nangyari, may ano bang term maganda nito? Nagkabanggaan yung dalawa, resulting to a damage to the front wing of Lewis Hamilton, and parang nagka-puncture rin yata si Esteban Ocon. I don't know if hindi ko na ma-remember. But this battle between the two of them resulted to a 5-second penalty to Esteban Ocon. And eventually, nag-change ang kanilang order because of the pit yata. I forgot, or nakatulog yata ako. I don't know. I forgot. But anyway, the order came differently. Lewis Hamilton is now ahead of Esteban Ocon. But Lewis Hamilton, the car before Lewis Hamilton was Fernando Alonso from the same team, the Renault, the Alpine, running Renault engine.
Alpine.
And yes, and Fernando Alonso, somehow, I don't know if they call it, well, they said it was tire management, but Fernando Alonso decided to become a safety car with his Alpine.
Kulang na lang blinker.
Bakit ko yes. Bakit ko nasabi yun na he decided to be a safety car? Because all the cars running 7th, or
Behind
all the
him.
cars running after Fernando Alonso until the rest of the pack, until the end, they were all trailing him. So,
Yeah.
kaya nga nasabi ko parang train, so he was just like a locomotive, a loco with pulling all the cars behind him. And they were really far behind the leaders, wherein the leaders were like almost nearly a lap ahead of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
That's
so
correct.
Christian and
Tama si Miles. Alonso basically was playing safe here kasi he was more focused on tire management more than anything. In
Yeah.
fact, he was interviewed sometime after the race.
And
They
then he
were
was asked,
asking him how hard was it to keep
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton behind you daw? Tinanong siya. Quote unquote, extremely easy.
yeah.
Ganon kahirap mag-race around Monaco if you're in a inferior car, kumbaga, and you have Alonso in front of you.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show na ganon kahirap ganon kaiba yung situation. That's how different the situation is between teams. So you have the front runners, Ferrari and Red Bull, actively fighting at the front, and then you have midfield teams like Alpine basically just trying to survive, not to crash out or wear their tires out. And unfortunately, naipit doon ng Mercedes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So Miles,
We have a few questions, and we have a few questions coming into the
Yeah,
chat right
sige,
now.
okay.
We have a few comments going in. So again from Sir Ediniel, Kilog Season, Fernando Alonso is the new safety car. Tama.
Kasi wala
makaka-overtake
maka-overtake,
sa
yeah.
kanya hanggang the
Yun
end of
na
the
nga.
race. So absolutely.
Tama.
Just as we were discussing.
Yeah. Walang maka-overtake sa kanya. Okay. So Christian mentioned right here, yeah, the overtaking maneuver of Pierre Gasly and Zhou Guanyu. It was very nice because Pierre Gasly is already on intermediate, I think. That's why he was really so quick on that one. So, guys, who can answer this? Bakit walang penalty si Albon? I think di niya pinadaan si Leclerc kahit na may blue flag.
Yeah, walang
Okay,
penalty ito.
Sige. Miles o Yamboy? Miles? Sige.
Ayan.
Ako muna.
Sige, go.
Ako muna. Okay, sa akin lang ito may opinion. Una-una, hindi nakita dun sa show, di ba? Sa replays na lang, yung mga cameras na lang, dun na lang nakita. Number 1. Number 2, Albon is Red Bull driver deep inside. So talagang binili mo yung kalaban mo.
It's on his helmet, by the way.
Yeah, di ba? Pero anyway,
Literally on his helmet.
I think Martin Brundle mentioned na parang meron siyang penalty. I don't know. Miles, can you say something about that?
Actually, ito, regarding that, regarding kay Albon waving na being blue flag because of Leclerc. Actually, Albon was, if we are going to base the times ni Albon was faster. Okay? Faster than Leclerc that time. Okay? Even though he was about to be lapped, but he is faster. Parang you cannot expect a back marker to slow down just for you, considering na
You're
na
both
yun
in
nga,
the same race
considering na
anyway.
back marker ka, you're on the same race
Kahit
naman.
back marker pa,
blue
you're
flag
still
ka,
in the same race pa rin.
Yes. Pero your pace is faster than Leclerc that time. So
That's
yun
right.
na nga. Hindi naman ako FIA, sorry talaga Sir Christian Dave. I cannot answer that. Pero sa aking based on what I saw and my opinion, he is faster. Kaya pero eventually he let he let Charles Leclerc overtake yata after 2 laps yata. After being blue flag for 2 laps, or rather a whole lap siya na blue flag, sa kanya napadaan si Albon. I think I forgot, sorry about that, forgot kung anong part ng track niya napadaan si Albon. I think he did it really on the safe side na rin kasi yun na nga, sabi ko kanina, the racing line is slowly drying up, but the rest of the track is still wet. If you're going to put your car on the wet side of the track, then most probably you would aquaplane and hit the barriers.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
like what
That's
happened
correct.
to another car. Okay, answer
So,
ko to Jong.
just a
Not
little-
sure
Yeah.
if na-discuss nyo na, about your thoughts on Checo's contract extension.
Contract extension.
We'll talk about that. About Checo's contract extension, courtesy
while.
of Yamboy, after the
Yeah,
race.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a little bit more on that para ma-answer lang natin yung question na tinanong sa atin. So yes, Miles was correct. Albon was actually faster than Leclerc during that particular sequence. It came to that point na Albon was doing well on his pace. He and his team figured na if they let Leclerc pass, it would just end up na they would just pass him. They would just re-overtake him. So parang naging ganun yung logic ng Williams. Anyway, logic or not, Albon knew that he was supposed to let Leclerc pass. Obviously, he was seeing the blue flags and everything. But again, they decided not to. With regards to not being punished by the stewards, apparently it's because the Williams actually shortly after, the Williams skidded off the track at San Devot. So yung first corner after the start finish line. So he skidded off, and which allowed Leclerc to pass by. So I think that's why hindi na napinalize si Albon kasi nawala yung he received his punishment by skidding off the track.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't see any indication here na he was being investigated or he received the penalty after that because he got his punishment on the track.
I think
Yeah.
I think the FIA was scared of the red hair. Siguro.
Yeah, and the red hair.
Okay, one of the scary moments of the race was this, the crash of Mick Schumacher, which resulted to the separation of the back portion, the rear end of his car. So, which I think resulted to another, yellow, a safety car, right?
Yep, yep. Yeah,
Lap
scary bit
27.
of the race here. Yeah, shades of Roman Grosjean in his accident on his Haas when the car
Yeah.
snapped in half. Well, this time minus the fireball. So these new 2022 cars, no, bit of trivia here. These new 2022 cars are actually designed to brake more easily in that particular portion, as a direct result of what they've learned with Grosjean's accident.
Yeah.
So this is actually the car doing its job, which is absorbing the impact, breaking apart. So the car is total, but your driver is fine. So that's why Mick was able to literally walk out of this one.
Yeah.
But Mick Schumacher, just a little bit on this, guys. Now, yes, he's a Schumacher, but he has to stop making these mistakes. Yes, he's in a Haas. Yes, he's relatively inexperienced, but he really has to stop making these mistakes. Parang
Yeah.
almost every race, no,
Yes.
he has an accident, he damages something, he breaks the car. Yeah, sooner or later, Gene Haas and or Gunther Steiner will have to do something about this. Kasi yeah, it's
You're a
really
bunch
not
of
enough to just be a
wankos.
Schumacher in F1.
Yeah.
Kasi
Actually,
these cars
actually
are
the
they're not cheap. These cars, no?
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah, what happened to the Haas team during the Monaco Grand Prix? Unang-una, it was costly for them kasi they need to have a new car. And also, it resulted to a double DNF eh. Kevin Magnussen, a lap
That's right.
earlier, also retired due to
Yeah.
water
Yeah.
pressure problems on his Haas. So,
That's right. That's
makikita
exactly
natin
right.
during the race when he saw while he was walking back to the pits, he saw a footage of what happened on the big screens. He saw what happened to Mick Schumacher. Makikita natin yung disappointment sa mukha niya. Parang sayang. Sayang kasi double DNF kami, sayang kasi gasto sa team, sayang at mapapagalitan kami ni Jean at ni Gunter.
Ni
So,
Gunther.
sorry guys.
Patay.
So this was the photo that you're looking at. This was the train that Miles was talking about, where as you can see na medyo makalapit na talaga, and eventually the checker flag for
Let's
Checo Perez.
Jong, let's just go back to that photo, no, of the casino hairpin. Let's just go back to that for a moment. Let's just let's just appreciate this photo kasi this particular angle, it's like this angle pa lang, it's iconic na. This is one of the most well-known parts
Yeah.
of any racetrack, not just Monaco, of any racetrack. As if you
Well
ask any
memed.
casual F1 fan, the casino hairpin, this is, yeah, ask any casual F1 fan, they will recognize it immediately. Monaco, diba? Apart from the tunnel, this is the other very popular, very prominent feature of Monaco. So I just like to take a moment and just take this in kasi yun nga, if this really is the last Monaco race, we won't see F1 here again. Parang
Yeah,
it's kind of sad.
and this
So
and
let's take it in.
Yeah, and this hairpin, I think it is the slowest hairpin curve in an
Hairpin.
F1
That's right.
track.
That's
So
right.
there are lots of hairpin
In the
curves,
whole
but this is the
F1
slowest.
calendar, yeah.
Yeah.
One thing to add with this photo right here, it was taken around 50 plus 50, 52, 53 laps na. So, kita mo itong train na ito, almost nose to tail na ang mga nakasunod dito. Kasi because of tire degradation, alam mo yon, kasi
Yeah.
like
That's right.
like this one, after the red flag of Mick Schumacher, So all the cars, they went back to the pit. Pagka ganyan, red flag, you are allowed to change your tires. So the two Red Bulls went into mediums, and itong dalawang Ferraris naman, they changed to a 10-lap old hard tires. So 10-lap old hard tires for the Reds. Itong Bulls naman is brand new medium tires. So from then on, tire degradation of Sergio almost cost him the race
The race, yeah.
after the exit from the tunnel by Carlos Sainz. Siyempre, nanggigigil. But sabi ni Carlos, pati daw siya hirap na because yung kanyang hard tire sa rear bumibigay na din. Kaya, nagtuloy-tuloy, Checo may boy, champion, Monaco.
Yeah.
Third win of his career,
No, so, yeah.
Monaco Caguiat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ayos. Ayan.
Monaco pa talaga.
Nahirapan ako mag-print
So, yeah,
screen yan.
Yeah.
So, and if you notice now, if you go back to the race, no, the race didn't finish after a set amount of laps. There was actually a countdown timer. Napansin niyo yun?
Yeah, because
Yeah, kasi yung
64
dahil sa
laps
lahat ng mga
only.
delays. Because
Yeah.
of all the delays, the red flags and everything. And I think also, if I'm not mistaken, nakasali rin ang TV time eh. So they
Yeah,
can't go on and broadcast the race forever kasi
Yeah.
may kasunod sa TV
Meron
slot
pang Indy
nila.
500.
So,
no, it's like
exactly.
this.
Mag-conflict
It's like
na sila sa Indy 500.
Yeah.
That's why there was a countdown timer. It wasn't just after a set amount of laps.
Yeah, because it's like this. The rules of once it's 5 lights out and away we go, it should only have 2 hours of race. So whether there is a delay or whatsoever, there was a 45-minute delay, and they were counting down the laps down, and the race officials saw that by finishing it in 77 laps, hindi nila mapapasok doon sa 2-hour window ng F1 rules. So they have to count it down. I think that was 35 minutes or 40 minutes. They count it down. Then when the clock hits 0, the race control just signaled 1 more lap. So that's it. That is the last lap for the last decision who's going to cross the start-finish line first, which is this guy, the Mexican.
Yep.
They were trying to say that
Boy.
he is the most successful Mexican race car driver
Mexican
right
driver.
now. So kaya dapat he was so proud. He was tearing up on the
He's
podium.
very emotional doon sa
Yeah.
podium, di ba? No? Kita yung emotion, just hindi niya mapigilan eh. Listening to the Mexican national anthem
Yeah.
being played
National
in Monaco must have been super special for Checo. Really happy for this guy.
ko. Actually, then he was
Di ba?
radioing.
Goosebumps, no?
Yeah. Then he was radioing while the race is solo, tapos na yung karera. He was radioing that he was able to find this Mexican
The
flag,
flag.
inside the cockpit
Yeah.
of
May
the race
bumigay
car.
sa kanya ng flag.
Yeah. Wow.
Beautiful touch.
Yeah, beautiful touch. So we were so touched with so
Yeah, I mean Checo deserves this win, honestly. It may not have been by his direct action na yung he was very aggressive or anything, no? Pero yeah, just watching Checo finish this race first, watching the post-race celebrations. The man deserves the race. The man deserves this win.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah, he drove his heart out.
Yes.
He wasn't in anyone's way. He drove a very clean race. Pinaka-importante sa lahat. He drove a clean race, compensating for his mess up during qualifying. So quite a good shot at validation there for Checo Perez.
And aside from that,
Just awesome to see.
yeah, it's a very good turnaround on what happened in Spain. So he was really, you can see his, his frustrations during that time. And what a very good turnaround right here, di ba? So, for the win. Miles, wait, meron kasing comment dito. Si Edinel was
That's
trying
right.
to say that share ko lang din po yung top 5 streak ni Russell since opening season
Oh,
here
Yes.
yes.
sa Mercedes. Yeah, of
Correct.
course.
Oh, yeah, George
Yes, okay.
Russell
Thank
is
you
no
for
longer
Uh,
Mr.
he's
yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah. Miles, go.
no longer Mr.
Yes,
Saturday, but Mr. Consistency na.
Yeah.
consistency.
Mr. Consistent.
Yeah, and tas exciting yung driver standing. Yes, ni Leclerc. We're gonna show you
Oh,
the driver
yes.
standing right now. So there we go.
Yeah, if you look at the standings, yeah, tingnan nyo gaano kadikit yung standing natin. Sergio Perez 110, Leclerc 116, Verstappen 125. Right now it's a freeway battle at the top right now.
Yeah. So we're
And
only
we have so many races left
Yeah.
in the racing in the calendar.
so
It's just really heating up.
and
Yes.
the battle of the wingmen. Sabi mo Miles, the battle of the wingmen. Sergio Perez, of course, is what is this? 17 points above Carlos Sainz. So again, George Russell is still there with 1 point lang kay Carlos Sainz. Kaya medyo exciting
Okay.
to with more races to come.
Pero, okay. Can it, to Jong, let me add, not to sound negative or pessimistic, okay. Sergio Perez is now a title contender na rin eh.
Yeah.
Considering the points differences, okay. Pero but coming from the same team, okay, if you were Christian Horner, sino sa dalawa ang bibigyan mo ng pabor? Dahil syempre, bibigyan mo ng pabor si reigning world champion. Pero it would also be parang hindi naman fair for Sergio
Sergio
Perez, who's really a good driver. And good driver, good wingman, and yun nga, hindi dahil kay Sergio Perez, last year pa lang, baka mahirapan si Max to get the world
Oh
championship
yes.
title.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
so
Yeah.
And
to
also
seg
yung
go Miles.
And also, idagdag natin yung nag-comment sa atin regarding the Checo's contract extension, okay? If I were Christian Horner, why not? Kasi I could easily, hindi naman itong dalawang drivers ng Red Bull ngayon, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez, pareho silang magaling. Saka kung sakaling they could easily bring in points to the team.
Yeah,
Kumbaga,
definitely.
maasahan mo yung dalawang drivers to bring in points for the team even though kung in the heat of the battle, someone might be DNF or hindi matapos yung race or masisira. At least there's another one to bring in the points for the team. So I would
Yeah.
Christian Horner or Mr. Helmut Marco would easily what they call this, resign Checo Perez into Red Bull team. And yun na nga, because of that, medyo maraming nasarahan ng pintuan eh. Because of that. In my own opinion, there is this certain French guy by the name of Pierre Gasly who once rode for Red Bull. Ngayon asa na. After ngayon, di na natin malalaman kung saan si Pierre Gasly, considering na he also is a talented driver.
Yeah.
And also for Alex Albon. Alex Albon, where will he be after a few years from now? Will he still be sporting the red hair or a red car or a Red Bull? Nandiyan na lang din yan. So, yun na nga. Because of the Sergio Perez's na contract signing. That's my own opinion.
Yeah. Well said. So, Yam, before we're gonna talk about your opinion on Sergio Perez contract extension, right now, the drive of the day, I think he drive his hard out in this race. He was able to,
Yeah.
sort of get it back from what happened on Spain. So he was so
In Spain, yeah.
frustrated. So the drive of the day is, of course, Sergio Perez of Red Bull.
Yep.
Yes.
Completely agree.
So,
Okay.
like what Miles said, if you are Christian Horner, what would you do? So, ibibigay mo lahat kay Max Verstappen yung para manalo siya for
Yeah.
the reigning world champion. But what if ako si Sergio Perez after after the Barcelona, after the Spain incident, ang gagawin ko, I will really drive really fast, just like what he did here
Oh, drive
in
really hard.
Monaco.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
he was faster than Verstappen all weekend long. So, yan, isa sa gagawin ko, syempre, kung masyado lang kaming dikit ni Max, team orders lagi yan, team orders. So, ano gagawin ko? Dapat mauna ako ng mga dalawang kotse kay Max. Which is yan ang nangyari sa kanya
Yep.
ngayon. So, yan din ang isa sa dahilan kung bakit na-extend yung kanyang contract because in last year's Ministry of Defense style driving na pinahirapan niya ang 7-time world champion na hindi niya palusutin ng ganun kadali. And then team player and then giving points to Red Bull and hindi siya nalalayo with Max Verstappen, which is hindi pa nagawa yan nung mga kanyang mga pinalitan like Alex Albon and Pierre Gasly. Imagine si Pierre Gasly na-demote pa nga ulit sa Toro Rosso, di ba?
AlphaTauri.
Yeah.
So-
AlphaTauri.
Yeah, Alpha Tauri. So, yun ang nangyari. Checo is closer to Verstappen than all the other drivers that he replaced. So, well done, Checo. Congratulations to you. You are our drive of the day for the purple sector. Congrats. And yun. Bago naman.
Walang upload. Walang
Yeah.
palakpak din yan.
Yam, yung upload mo.
Applause. Okay.
Oh,
Ay, tawa yun.
importante yan. Importante yan. Huwag mo kalimutan.
Alright. Yun. Congratulations, sir. Woo!
Okay, so guys, here's my question. So, if you're Christian Horner, Miles, going back to what you asked, if you're Christian Horner, you have now two very competitive drivers in your roster, in your team. Now, the problem and how are you going to manage it? We are just like talking about what happened to McLaren last time. McLaren, Fernando Alonso, and Lewis Hamilton. Am I right, Miles?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was a McLaren, 'di ba? So, Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton, yung mga names na yun medyo mabigat. Now, going back to Mercedes,
Nico Rosberg.
Nico
and Lewis
Rosberg
Hamilton.
and
Yeah, there are actually many examples of driver rivalries going out of control and yun nga, to the detriment of the team, di ba?
Yeah.
Going way back, Prost and Senna.
oh yes, wow, very
One of
nice.
the most
That was
intense
a
rivalries, Prost and Senna.
McLaren. Yeah,
Hindi ka pa ata napapanganak niyan doon.
McLaren rin yun. Oh, pero, well, if you're an F1 fan, you would instantly recognize Prost and Senna. One of the most intense rivalries in
Sila
F1
mismo nag-aaway.
in their period.
Yeah.
Oh, grabe yun.
At
Yun na,
alam mo,
going back to Alonso and Hamilton, Rosberg and Hamilton. Even Verstappen when he was still in his earlier years in Red Bull, di ba? That's why
Yeah.
they were having such a hard time figuring out sino yung i-pair sa kanya kasi pati Daniel Ricciardo, one of the coolest guys on the track, one of the nicest guys on the track. Very good friends with Max Verstappen, but on track talagang you could see the friction between them. There was no denying it.
Yeah.
And it was not working in Red Bull's favor. So they have found in my opinion in Sergio Perez, they have found the perfect wingman. He's fast, he's consistent. He has no issues with the team yet. He has no issues working with Verstappen, not against Verstappen. So he's the perfect wingman. Masakit pakinggan if you're a Perez fan. But yeah, he's the perfect number 2.
Yeah.
There's just no other way to
Yeah.
say it. He's the
Alright.
perfect number 2 driver.
All right. Nice. Very well said. So now, let's check on the championship point standing. Red Bull is
Team standing.
way there.
Ooh,
The
Red Bull
constructor,
pulling away.
Ferrari, below 200. So, and Mercedes, way away. Ang layo sa 8-time constructor world champion. So, still very early in the season. So, I bet there's still a hope there for Mercedes fans out there like me. Okay.
Actually, John, we're already 1/3 away. We finished 1/3 of the whole season.
Yeah, 1/3.
1/3 of the season. So next race we have is the Baku
Azerbaijan,
Grand Prix.
Baku City Grand Prix. Yep.
Yes.
So, another street
It's
circuit.
Still yes,
Another street
unfortunately.
circuit, and yes, another.
This is
ano
Red
ba?
Bull. This is Red Bull territory.
Ah.
Red Bull territory na. And if you're a Mercedes fan,
This is Red Bull
yeah, if you're a
territory because
Mercedes
of the-
fan,
The
the
straightaways.
yeah, the
Mercedes
stretch.
and
The
Ferrari.
stretch. Ah.
Mercedes, Mercedes
pero
and
yun nga,
Ferrari.
if you're a
probably
Mercedes fan, you probably don't like Baku very much right now. If you're a Mercedes fan, di ba, Jong?
Yeah, of course. Definitely.
if you're a
with
Mercedes
what's
fan,
up.
see you in
Yeah.
Silverstone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Silverstone
anyway,
na tayo
yeah,
magkikita.
really
Silverstone,
excited to
yeah.
really exciting to watch that.
Yeah.
So let's go back to our comments here.
Yeah, Edinel said, yes, one of the defense I saw in Abu Dhabi GP 2021 para malapit niya yung gap nila Hamilton and Verstappen. Yep. He's talking about
That's absolutely
Checo
right.
Perez. Yep. Best defense.
Checo.
Yeah. Defense minister. Yeah, on yan.
So that's why i-extend mo talaga yung kontrata nung my boy.
Yeah.
Boy Checo.
My boy,
Extend mo
Checo.
talaga yun
I
kasi
think it was a no-brainer.
there's no other driver like him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Siyempre, meron din siya
Parang
frustrations.
ngayon lang
Tao.
talaga to na season na Red Bull has found someone na yung talagang complementary kay Max sa nabibigay ni Max. They found someone complementary, hindi yung contrary to Max.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be a good season for Red Bull if they keep this up. And of course, Ferrari again has a lot of homework to do. Yung strategy nila. Yeah, I'm sure
Hindi lang-
Leclerc had some
hindi
choice
lang
words for them
Ferrari
after the
ang-
race.
Yeah, Miles.
Hindi lang Ferrari ang maraming homework for strategies, also Mercedes. And ayusin ulit nila yung sasakyan nila to avoid the porpoising na experienced by Hamilton during the Monaco Grand Prix. And for McLaren, may assignment rin sila. Hindi ko alam kung assignment nila maghanap ng bagong driver or somehow I have this conspiracy theory regarding that, but I'd rather keep it to myself. But somehow they need to to do their homeworks to make the Honey Badger Daniel Ricciardo finally make Daniel Ricciardo find his pace. Kasi for the past few races, hindi niya nakikita yung pace niya eh. So, sayang rin yung talent ni Honey Badger and sana mapalapit yung gap nila between him and Dodong Lando.
Lando Norris. So Miles, tama yung comment mo. Miles, tama yung ano mo, yung kasi Christian De Vancheta said asked thoughts on Ricardo's struggle at McLaren. So he's really struggling. So yun
Really
na nga.
struggling, and yeah, he just cannot figure out that car. And it's not just him, to be fair, ha? Kasi yun nga, going back to the last race na sa Spain, where we tried multiple sets of tires. He had like a 4-stop race or something, 3-stop, 4-stop race.
Yeah.
Could not get grip on any of them. Sayang talaga, and he's really struggling on that car. So, how true is it ba na he found, hindi ko kasi sure kung totoo to na he was extended as well sa McLaren. Totoo ba?
I'm not quite sure. Miles?
Have you guys heard anything about that?
Sandali lang di. Kasi kanina may meeting si pareng Zack eh. Hindi ko na,
Oh, ano bang
na
sinabi doon
busy
sa
rin
meeting
ako sa
kanina?
bisita. Hindi. May
Ay,
meeting
duty
siya.
pa
Hindi
ka
ko
siya
alam ano yung
kanina eh.
meeting. Hindi ko alam ano yung meeting niya. May meeting rin ako ng akin. So, Di, let me get back to at you siguro tomorrow or the day after, makalawa.
Yeah.
Pero ito na lang, regarding Daniel Ricardo, um, countless names have surfaced na i-replace si Daniel Ricardo. There's this certain gentleman, si Pato Ward, si Huertas, marami. But, yun na nga, he can't find his space. Yun na nga, ito, sabihin ko na lang yung aking conspiracy theory. F1 is business, McLaren is business. And to bring in more business, you need to have a driver. You need to have an American. You need to have an American driver para to bring in more American fans. America is slowly embracing F1, is
F1,
bringing
yep.
in revenue to the F1 franchise itself in terms of airtime, TV time, and sponsorships, and marami pang iba. So, having a American driver for McLaren is really a good thing for McLaren and for the business itself. But unfortunately, actually they're doing good in Indy 500, the McLaren Arrows team, and also they can pull their Indy driver to drive into F1 kasi sayang, he's winning pa eh. He's on top of his Indy game. So, yun na nga ang akin. Give Daniel Ricciardo a not so good performing car so he would eventually sana lang mag-give up. Actually, that's my own opinion. That's my conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Anyway,
So,
on the comments, okay, Sir Mark
Elman.
commented that yes, it's not extended in McLaren. Okay, switch to Force India with McLaren. I don't think, I don't know, Force India is not, hindi ko alam kung sinong driver na, no. Yes. I don't know what he meant by he switched to Force India after a year with McLaren. Yes, I think he's talking about Sergio Perez. Sergio Perez was a driver with McLaren before. And he switched to Force India, and Force India became Racing Point, and eventually he got kicked out. He went to Red Bull, and Racing Point became the Team Pipino
Yeah.
under Lance Stroll.
Team Pipino.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tama to, may rumor daw si Christian Ancheta na Ricardo right now is going to NASCAR.
I don't know. Ito. But here's something. Since Daniel Ricciardo is Australian, okay. Merong the certain series in Australia, the V8 supercars. I don't know if it's the right term. Supercars V8, okay. All the teams there are really interested if McLaren finally gives up on Daniel Ricciardo. Almost any team in the supercar V8s are really to embrace Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah.
Parang sinasabi nila, Dong, dito ka na lang Dong, down under. Mahal ka namin dito. Pero still, he's still under contract. He's still under contract with McLaren. So he still drives with McLaren. He still tries his best. But, yun na nga, tingnan natin, we're still 1/3 away. We're still 1/3 done and still 2/3 more.
Yeah.
So we still have 15 more races to go. So we'll wait and see kung ano yung anong
Okay.
kahinatnan ni Honey Badger.
Prediction for next
Okay.
race, according to Christian, guys. Who wants to start? Di, nawala ka di.
prediction.
Audio. Miles?
Audio.
Okay, sige, di. Technical difficulty, just like the race control. Home. Okay, predictions. Okay. Tulad sa ating group chat, okay. I really like ako yung mahilig magbigay ng prediction. And somehow pat on my shoulder, medyo maganda yung aking mga naging prediction. So, pero right now, right now, it's still battle between Ferrari and Red Bull. Okay. So, I don't see any teams, any third team to
Especially
go
on
battle
a street
without,
circuit.
especially on a street circuit. So, for me, it's still a Red Bull, Ferrari, but hindi ko pa masyado nakikita sa aking bolang kristal kung who among those teams ang lalabas. It's the wingman or the number one drivers. Hindi natin masabi. Pero ito lang, masabi ko, Charles Leclerc went home again disappointed. Sabi nga niya, sanay na siya. Going home disappointed. I think he'll really make it up on the Baku circuit.
Yeah.
But, hindi papayagan ni Max na mangyayari yun. And most especially, hindi papayagan ni Checo since he is still high on, not on tequila, not on any other
Mexican
substance. He's
tequila.
high on his Monaco win.
Yeah.
He's high on his Monaco win. And he wants to keep the pace, kumbaga. But let us also not discount Mr. Gravel, or sorry about that, Mr. Carlos Sainz to
Beach. Mr. Beach.
Mr. Beach pala, sorry. Hindi rin, papakitang gilas rin si Carlos Sainz nito kasi yun na nga, during the Monaco Grand Prix, he made a strategy on his own eh.
Yeah.
He didn't
yeah.
listen to the team.
That's
He
right.
made his own strategy and it paid off. Good for Mr. Carlos Sainz na nangyari yun. So, ngayong Baku Grand Prix, kung magkakapalpakan ulit sa strategy, maybe Carlos Sainz might step in again to give in his own strategy. Siguro hingi
Yeah, so
siguro
Carlos
ng
Sainz
tulong
is
kay Daddy.
yeah. Carlos Sainz is really taking a page out of Sebastian Vettel's playbook. Diba? Nakikita natin Sebastian Vettel. Mahilig rin siya gumawa ng kanyang sariling strategy. I think he's learning Carlos Sainz has learned the hard way not to trust 100% trust Ferrari strategy. Kaya nga he saved his spot in the race.
All right.
Could have been so much worse.
Yeah. Yam, prediction for the next race?
Oh, Verstappen, number 1. Number 2, Leclerc. Number 3, Perez. Number 4, Sainz. Parang dyan. Pero kung magpanik na naman itong Red Boys, nako, problema na naman yan. Kasi yung stretch na yon, that's Red Bull territory eh. Malay mo, baka finisher ng top 5 ang Haas. Hindi natin alam. Pero under K-Mag's driving style, mabilis din itong batang ito. Kaya yun, abangan ninyo ang Baku kasi ang gandang karera niyan. May mga castle sa gilid, di ba? So, it's so nice. So, sana wag lang pumutok ang Pirelli tires. Utang na loob.
Well, they have promised na they've made improvements. So, let's see. Gaano katotoo.
They made improvements. They made improvements on the compounds. Okay. Are we talking about the same track on Baku or have they done any revisions on the track?
I think same.
I believe it's pretty much the same. I haven't picked up on any news na they've done any modifications for this year. So it should be the same layout as the previous years.
All right. All right, guys.
So, basically,
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's a very good discussion. We were talking for 1 hour and 30 minutes already.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So again,
Ang dami nangyari.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Akala natin boring race, hindi pala. So it's not a boring
ba?
discussion.
Kala ko
Yeah.
15 minutes lang ito, pero hindi. Well, yun. And then thank you to Mr. Ancheta, Mr. Season.
Yeah.
for-
Mark Elman, thank you so
Yes,
much
thank you for joining us tonight.
for joining us
Yeah.
tonight.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you for
Really
joining us.
appreciate it.
Don't forget the
Thank you very much.
F1 merchandises. Don't forget that one. Juan Store, Formula One
Formula
store
One.
on FB and IG. That's
Yeah.
Christian Dave Ancheta. Check it out. We're gonna check it out
Actually,
definitely. We're hungry for
gina-follow ko
those.
na yun. Matagal ko nang gina-follow yan. Yan yung
Ah,
i-share ko
wow.
sa'yo, Jong.
Yun. Okay,
Yan yung,
so
You
oh,
can
yeah,
never
yeah.
have enough merch, no?
yeah,
Ah,
You can never have
ito.
enough
Wait.
merch. I mean, tingnan niyo yung mga
Okay.
background niyo.
yeah.
You can never have
Wait
enough
wait
merch.
Oh, yeah, go.
Okay.
Oh, yam.
Okay, wait lang ha. Yan. Check.
Oh, ano
Okay,
to? Ano to?
ito tayo.
I'm
For
ready.
authentic F1 goodies, visit F1 at Facebook and Instagram. Yeah!
All right, nice. Yeah,
F1.
I have to
F1.
check. I have to
Baka
check
naman.
that one.
Okay,
we're-
man.
Yeah. We're running out of F1 merchandise, so I have to fill up this room. Hopefully. So, yeah,
dami niyo
thank
pa
you,
lugar
Christian.
dyan.
We're gonna check that out. All right, so guys, nice talking to you and to all of those who made a comment. So, Andy, last few words before we go.
So yes, thank you so much, guys, for joining us for tonight's live session. We have been talking about the Monaco Grand Prix. A very eventful race. I'm very happy to be disappointed this time kasi akala ko it was gonna be boring again, but I'm glad I was wrong. Yeah, again, you have been watching the Racing Lines Purple Sector live on Facebook and YouTube. Join us again next time. We have a very long F1 calendar this year,
Yeah.
and we cannot wait to share our opinions. And we have so many things in the pipeline that we're working on to make the show better. Thank you once again for joining us. If you have any suggestions, anything at all, hit
Let
us
us
up on
know.
Facebook
Yeah,
on
let us know.
the Racing Line Facebook page.
Alright.
We shall see you there.
Yep. All right. Sorry, Miles.
Okay, thank you once again sa mga nanonood at manonood pa. Don't forget na to spread the word. Share nyo sa mga kakilala ninyo, kamag-anak ninyo na sa tingin nyo mahilig sa F1. They could easily comment. Libre namang mag-comment kung meron silang if you disagree with what we are saying.
We wanna
We
know.
will wholeheartedly accept it. And kung meron kayong i-announce, ipa-plug or
Yeah, let us
anything,
know.
this is a good medium for you guys. So, see you on the next Purple Sector
2 weeks from now.
episode.
2 weeks.
2 weeks from now, we'll be doing the Azerbaijan Grand Prix review.
Grand Prix.
So,
Yeah.
see you then.
Thank you. Yum.
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the show. I hope you learned something today, and if not, I hope you were entertained. Next stop for the race is Azerbaijan, June 12. June 13, parang holiday, so pwede kayo magpuyat. And then,
Yeah.
while pwede kayo magpuyat, pwede din kayong pumunta doon sa event namin. Di ba, Jom? We'll
Yep,
be starting
yep.
the
Yeah.
live
Hopefully.
preview na.
Hopefully. Live
Okay.
streaming party. Yeah,
So,
hopefully.
stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we will
Meron
announce
Tayong
it.
live streaming sa...
Saya.
We will announce it lang.
Yes!
All right.
Very excited. So, thank you very much, guys. And make sure to visit the Racing Line karting
Yeah.
racing
At Victoria Plaza.
Tapos na pala yung karting, no? Tama
Yeah.
pala.
Now,
It's open.
LCCC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for
Oh,
reminding
thank you.
All right. Okay, guys.
Very much.
Nice talking to you, gentlemen, again, and to all of those who join us in the comments below. Maraming salamat po for joining. And again, let us know what you think about this talk show, this race talk, and anything you wanna plug, anything you wanna discuss, anything you wanna ask. We hope to know the answers about it, but we are just here to share the motorsports that we love so much, which is Formula One racing. So more races coming in. We're still in the 1/3 of the races. Tama ba yun, Miles? So
Pala ng calendar.
and the points are piling up and it's getting interesting. The frustrations and the drama. Yes, F1 is now so much known in the US market because of the Netflix Drive to Survive. So maybe that also helped. So if you want to know more, maybe you can check that out as well if you have a Netflix account. So yun. So that's it for us for tonight for the purple sector of the Formula One Monaco Grand Prix Race Talk. Thank you so much for joining us. On behalf of these three gentlemen here, maraming salamat and we'll see you again next Wednesday. All right. Good night, guys. Maraming salamat and we'll see you
Bye.
on the next F1 race.
Downs on the season, braking zone, 5 lights, ahead of the drivers. It's Lewis Young. At last, Stroll's car, and we have 19 on the grid there.